Most of the students will get this problem wrong. So here we have been given a table at first, and from this table, a study says 30% of the US teens are heavy texters. But they also give a plus minus 3% margin of error. Does that mean the real number could be way off, like 35% or even 20%? So today we're going to break down this real exam style question step by step with all the math so you will never get confused by margin of error again. So let's go. Here's the data from the study. 799 randomly selected US teens were asked about texting and calling habits. Look at the bottom row. Heavy texters, 204 teens, total teens, 799. So what percent of the sample are heavy texters? It's just gonna be, let's do the math right now, it's just gonna be 240 divided by 799, which is 30.04%, basically 30%. Now, the study rounds it and says an estimate of 30% of US teens are heavy texters. Perfect match. But here's the key part. They also give a margin of error of 3%. This doesn't mean 3% of the heavy texters in this study are wrong, or the exactly 27 to 30% of the 799 teens are heavy. No, the margin of error tells us how much the true percentage of for all US teens the population might differ from our sample 30%. Most studies like this use 95% confidence, so we say we are 90%, 95% confident that the true percentage is between somewhere 27% and 33%. Now let's go through our answer choices. Option A. Approximately 3% of the US teens who are classified as heavy texters are not really heavy texters. No. Margin of error is about the population estimate, not about whether the individual teens in the sample were misclassified. We know exactly 240 out of 799 in the sample are labeled heavy. Wrong. Option B. It is not possible that the percent of all US teens who are heavy texters is less than 27%. Too strong. And never go for like too strong ones. So that's all, of course, not wrong. Of course, it's wrong. Now, option C. The percent of all US teens who are heavy texters is 33%. Way too certain. We don't know the exact 30%, it's just like an estimate. So that can be the right answer either. Now let's go for option D. It's doubtful that the percent of all US teams who are heavy is 35%. Yes, 35% is 5 points of our estimate. This puts it outside the 27 to 33% confidence interval. Statistically speaking, values are far away are considered doubtful. So which is kind of like a very close our answer. And since the other answer doesn't match, we are going for option D, which is the correct answer. That's it.